This looks a lot like other cycles, as you can see here. A lot of similarities, and once they were able to exceed those prior cycle highs, it tends to go on for quite some time. I'll take you back to 2014. That's when I had my first Bitcoin. I went to one of these Linds and Paloozas, and I met some people that were dealing with Bitcoin. So this guy gave me a bunch of Bitcoin to share, and I shared some and held on to the rest and turned into thousands of dollars. And that was my introduction. It's still there on Twitter. You can still see me trying to give it to other people and them not accepting it. This was back in 2013, 2014. And obviously that company was a little early on, but nevertheless, that was my introduction. And I've seen these cycles before. I was orange pilled a decade ago because of Howard and Howard's community. So, I think that you'll see it. You'll know. It won't just be Bitcoin breaking out to all-time highs. You'll likely see Solana doing the same. You'll likely see the total crypto market cap exceeding 3 trillion and holding above there for the first time ever. Like, there'll be other signs, right? It won't just be one thing. You'll be able to look around. The percentage of altcoins, making new 30-day, 60-day, 90-day highs will probably be increasing. The percentage of altcoins that are getting overbought and in bullish uptrends are likely to be increasing, right? So think about it like that. It's a weight of the evidence thing. It's working on it. I think it's coming. How long it takes, I don't know, but it's coming and you'll know it when you see it.
AI's been around forever and crypto's only been around Bitcoin since 2010, 2011, but Bitcoin from a price perspective and from a global brand perspective, it's probably the most fastest growing global recognized brand of all time. Bitcoin, you say it in any corner of the world, people have an opinion about it. If we think about venture capitalists and returns, probably the best returns in the VC market in terms of actual DTI, meaning money made and pulled out, not just money invested and marked up on paper. If we look at from the bottom in 2018, where Bitcoin was like 3,000 to the 60,000, that's on paper. So any crypto investors in 2018 that were buying that low, anybody in the crypto space has had way better returns than any venture capitalist. This chart says so much more than just about the price of Bitcoin.
No, you compared it to the VC returns. It's also notable. I'll give you one anecdotal example of Bitcoin's performance versus public market. One of the most fabled investors in Amazon is Bill Miller. He was an early investor in Amazon. He ended up buying Bitcoin prior to the 2014 level. And I think he's been on record saying he's made more money on his Bitcoin trade than he's made on Amazon from being public in the early 2000s all the way to 2024.
But really, all the returns are in crypto and they're in the public markets. So what's interesting is all this money that's trapped between 2018 and today still has to be accounted for. And that's kind of the wall of worry, right? There's this money that's trapped in overpriced private assets. People rushed in, Michael, from Andreessen and all these big funds, $5 billion, $10 billion private equity funds. And meanwhile, you could have just been in Bitcoin and Solana and then QQQ since 2018 and really crushed it. And the next chain seems to be pretty much sealed up in being Solana. Solana from the bottom, when we started talking about it on this show, 20, on the breakout of 20, really got as low as 9. So it's a 20 bagger. Whereas Bitcoin's 18 to 65, Solana's a 20 bagger already off the lows. And if we look at Solana, well, very few people still know about it. Solana's in a much better position than it was when Sam at FTX owned all of it and all the drama around the supply being held by a criminal. That's all been cleaned up. You think about meme coins, I think 90% of the transactions are happening through Solana and wallets associated with that chain.
Can I give some perspective here? Solana's just completing its first cycle, bull market, correction, assuming that this completes, which I think it will shortly. When Bitcoin completed its first cycle, it went on to 12x in the next ensuing bull market. So I'm not saying that Solana is going to 12x after its first cycle.
Starting to do some work here because of StockTwits, right? As CEO of StockTwits, we're tripling down on crypto. So I'm having conversations that, sure, I was having NFT conversations when I wasn't CEO, but I didn't have any NFTs. I know you did, JC, and I'm not bearish on NFTs because there's some utility somewhere in how people construct these. But it wasn't necessary to be involved in NFTs, just like it's not necessary to be involved in meme coins. But as Solana matures and as brands realize the cultural value, including Nike has really dropped the ball on tying their consumers that love Jordans to some kind of alter currency or workout currency or kind of game mechanics of fitness. And so in a world where you can go to Instagram and find your trainer for free, like whether it's Phil doing his lifestyle coaching or these incredible trainers on Instagram, Nike has never tied that all together, nor has Lulu, nor has anybody, right? There's always been this talk of like digital meets physical. Well, the reason Nike's struggling is because they have an incredible brand. They have people that will trade shoes online, but they haven't given those people truly what they want, which is some other form of currency that says, I'm a Nike fucking super fan, right? And until they figure that out, they're not going to participate in this next move higher, no matter how many shoes they sell. And so I think that's an unlock that's still coming to crypto, which is culture, brand. I don't know what it looks like. I'm just saying there is something there because guys like Phil who have a digital wellness program can build a business, but this has to be applied at scale to the Nikes, the Lulus, the Pelotons, etc.